All right, here's a question that we hear a lot. You know, you're out there on the lake, you're flipping away, you're flipping mats, you know, you're catching a fish here or there, and all of a sudden you're not catching them anymore. When do you stop flipping? Well, basically what I've found in Florida, when we get a few cold fronts come through, on the warming trends of those cold fronts really seems to be when the fish go to the beds. We just pulled in an area right here. It's one of my favorite areas, but it looks just like any place on the lake that is a really good spawning area to me. You can see here behind us we got isolated cattails, and really some of the biggest fish in the lake really like to spawn on these isolated cattails. Not on all the isolated cattails though. You got to find them with a good hard sandy bottom around them. Normally, I'm old school. I just stick my rod tip down in the water, and if the rod goes and goes down in a bunch of muck, that's not an area I want to concentrate on. But if I stick my rod down in the water and I feel it kind of go, you know, it's a nice sandy bottom, I'll fish around a lot of these isolated cattails. And one of my favorite things to fish around those is I use the Fat Ace, and I put a little 5/16 weight on the front of it. Even lighter. We got a little bit of wind today, but when we don't have any wind, sometimes I'll even fish it weightless. Not weightless very often. It's got to be like a flat, calm day for that. But they actually spawn right on the bases of these isolated cattails, and you really want to make sure that your bait falls right down along the side of those cattails. And sometimes I'll even pitch or cast my bait actually past the cattail and drag it by it, so I know that my bait got to the base of the cattail. When you're fishing with light baits like this, what a lot of guys will do is they'll pitch right to the cattail and engage their reel and pick up on their line. What happens is you end up getting a pendulum effect, and as your bait pendulums back towards you, as you're keeping tension on that line, you know that fish probably isn't going to race off that bed and go bite that bait. But when you pitch it out there and you make sure that it falls really straight, like pitch it out there and even strip a little bit of line off your reel so it falls down perfectly straight alongside that reed instead of pendulum back towards you, you're going to get a lot more bites. And it's one of my very favorite things to do when the mat bite starts slowing down and we're on a warming trend is go look at those isolated reeds. And if I think you do it too, you'll really start catching some of those better spawners.